White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt insists that every other country on the planet totally wants to make a deal with the United States, including, she said this week, China. In fact, she went as far as to say that the Trump administration, specifically Trump himself, obviously, is, quote, setting the stage for a major deal with China. The only problem is when a reporter asked her, what does that mean? She completely fell apart, proving once again that Karoline Leavitt is unfit for this job and continuously fails to rise to the occasion when asked very simple questions from the people she's supposed to take questions from every day. Okay, it's not like she's waking up every morning and going into this like, what, I have to do a press briefing? That's literally your job. You know this is going to happen every day, and yet somehow you fail at it every single day. I will read you the exchange between Leavitt and the reporter in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. First, Elon Musk gutted federal agencies. Then he slashed public services. Now, his people are fighting to keep their corruption under wraps. But a federal judge ruled Musk's alleged Department of Government efficiency is not exempt from open records laws. Judge Christopher Cooper made it clear that the Trump administration completely failed to argue against the fact that DOJ is acting with massive unchecked power. Ground News analyzed dozens of sources covering this from across the political spectrum. And comparing coverage, you'll see how some spin this as a partisan issue while others call it what it is, proof of corruption. Same story, different spin, and exactly why you can't blindly trust the first headline you see without knowing the biases behind them. That's why I've been relying on my partners at Ground News for a long time. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website lets you compare coverage with context on each source's political bias, credibility, and financial incentives. This way, you're not just taking one source's word for what's happening, you're seeing past the layers of selective reporting shaping your worldview. Billionaires and political agendas are controlling more and more of our media, deciding what they want us to see and think. Ground News, on the other hand, it's independent, it's nonpartisan, and only committed to helping us think critically about the stories shaping everything from public opinion to public policy. And since I can't track everything Trump and Musk are doing or undoing alone, I've curated feeds that track them for me from credible sources to make sure I'm giving you all the most reliable information. And now you can too, for nearly half the price. Go to ground.news/Farron to get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for just $5 a month. Take back control of how you stay informed today. The link is in the video description. So here is how the exchange took place between Karoline Leavitt and ABC News reporter Mary Bruce. And again, it's talking about, hey, we got a great deal with China coming. So Leavitt started off by saying, I actually do have something to share on that. I asked the president about this before coming out here, and he wanted me to share with all of you that we're doing very well in respect to a potential trade deal with China. As I mentioned, there have now been 18 proposals and more than 100 countries around the world who are wanting to make a deal with the United States of America. And the president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China. So we feel everyone involved wants to see a trade deal happen, and the ball is moving in the right direction. So a lot of platitudes, a lot of vagueness, not to mention the number has increased from 75 countries wanting to make a deal to 100 countries wanting to make a deal, which is funny because we didn't even put tariffs on 100 different countries. So the number of people wanting to make deals actually exceeds the number of countries we've put tariffs on. Wow, how remarkable is that? Totally believable, right? Well, Mary Bruce, like myself, didn't believe any of it, so Mary Bruce asks, setting the stage for a deal with China? What does that mean? Has the president spoken directly with Xi Jinping? And this is when Leavitt starts to break down. She's like, I don't have anything to read out on a direct talk between the president and President Xi, but we will continue to keep you updated. Cool. So you're setting the stage, as you say, as Trump told you to say, and yet he hasn't spoken to the leader of China. Has he seen the reports that China is already actually working out deals with other countries to buy goods from them that they were previously buying from the United States, like getting soybeans from Brazil, getting their beef from Australia? Like, China's moved on. Okay, you're like the hopeful ex that swears just because maybe we saw the ex smile at us as we were walking through the hallway, I think they still like me and I think we're getting back together. Meanwhile, China's out here dating other people. They've updated their dating profile. Like, hey, who wants to send me some soybeans and beef? And they've got suitors lined up. Nothing she says is believable. And again, it's going to get worse. So then Mary Bruce says, Secretary Scott Bessent reportedly today told investors that his trade standoff with China he expects will be de-escalating soon because, as he described it, reportedly the situation's unstable or unsustainable. Is the president considering taking steps to de-escalate the situation with China? And then Leavitt started to get mad, and she said, again, I just read you words directly from the President of the United States. Those are moments ago. That's where his head is at right now. She asked you a follow-up question, which is normal. It's what they do. And you're like, I just read you the words. How dare you ask me another question? All she asked was, hey, are we going to de-escalate this? You know, because you guys said you're setting the stage for a deal. So de-escalation, you would assume, would be part of that. That's not a question that's out of line. That is not something that should have sparked this kind of fury and anger from Karoline Leavitt. But we see this a lot. This is what people who do not know what they are talking about do when they just get pressed too much on it. They start to get angry. They lash out. And that's what's happening with Leavitt. She doesn't understand any of this. She doesn't know what a tariff is, probably. She's just somebody who dumb luck put her in this position, and I do mean dumb luck. And now we're stuck with having to listen to her say stupid things every day and have many meltdowns in between questions because she doesn't understand what's going on. That's what happened here. And then she lost her cool. But again, you were simply asked to explain what it means, right? That was the heart of all this. Like, you just said something to us. What the hell does it even mean? And you couldn't even answer that question. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform. That, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.